You know the feeling, right? It's the hottest, stickiest day of the year, and then nothing, just silence. That gentle hum from your air conditioner is gone, and you just know, your house is about to turn into a sauna. It feels like terrible luck. But what if it isn't luck at all? What if it's actually the final shot in a secret war that's been raging against your AC unit for years?
Okay, so let's just dive right into that. This quote really gets to the heart of it. In some places, especially somewhere like coastal Florida, your AC failing isn't just a random event. Nope, it's a casualty in this brutal ongoing battle between your machine and the environment itself. And in that battle, regular maintenance isn't just a suggestion, it's your entire defense strategy.
And just look at these numbers. This is what we're talking about. Across the US, you can pretty reasonably expect your air conditioner to make it 15, maybe even 20 years. But down in coastal Florida, you're lucky to get 10 or 12. That's not a small difference. That lifespan is getting cut almost in half. It's a massive red flag. It's something in that environment is just relentlessly hammering these machines.
So yeah, let's call it what it is, the South Florida AC war. Because the environment there isn't just a backdrop, it's an active enemy. And this enemy has, let's say, 3 main weapons it uses. 3 assassins that are working 24/7 to bring your system down.
And here they are, the culprits. It's this perfect storm, really. You've got the corrosive salt air blowing in off the ocean. Then you've got this oppressive, thick humidity that just hangs in the air. And on top of all that, you have relentless, baking heat. The crazy part is, they don't take turns. They all work together, creating this uniquely hostile environment that puts your air conditioner through hell every single day of the year. So, we know who the assassins are. But how exactly do they pull it off? What's their method of attack? Well, to figure that out, we kind of have to do an autopsy on a dead AC unit and see exactly how the climate wages its war on all the little parts inside. First up is that salt air. It literally eats away at the metal coils in your outdoor unit, creating these tiny, microscopic holes. And through those holes, the refrigerant, the lifeblood of the system, starts to leak out. It's just like a slow, invisible puncture in a tire. Your AC keeps running and running, but the air never gets cold. All because the salt is just silently bleeding it dry. Next on the hit list is the heat. It goes after a small but absolutely essential part called the capacitor. You could think of the capacitor as the thing that gives the motor a jolt to get started. Well, that intense Florida heat literally bakes this component, day in and day out, until it just gives up. And the result, you hear a click and a hum, but the fan and compressor never actually kick on. It's one of the most common service calls out there. And assassin number 3, humidity. You see, an AC's job is to pull gallons and gallons of water out of the air. That water flows out through a little drain line. But in that constantly damp, dark pipe, you get the perfect breeding ground for algae and mold. It grows into this thick, slimy clog. And when that happens, all that water has nowhere to go. It backs up and can end up flooding your attic or your ceiling. So the system's very own solution for humidity creates a whole new potential disaster.
But the fight isn't just happening in the AC unit itself. Oh no. It's also happening right above your head in the attic. Check out this number, 20 to 40%. That is how much of your expensive, cooled air can leak out of your ductwork before it ever even makes it to your rooms. That same heat that kills capacitors is also breaking down the seals and insulation on your ducts. You're literally paying to air condition your attic, while your system has to work way harder for you to feel any relief.
So, all of this eventually leads to that moment, the breakdown. And when it happens, you're faced with a really tough financial choice, and you're facing it way sooner than people in other parts of the country. Do you pay to repair this worn-out, beat-up machine one more time, or is it finally time to replace the whole thing? This is what we're calling the crossroads.
$5,000. Just let that number hang in the air for a second. It might seem kind of random, but in the world of home repairs, it's actually a really powerful benchmark. It's a guideline that can help you decide when to stop throwing good money after bad, and it can save you from making a really expensive mistake right when you're under pressure.
And here's how it works. It's called the $5,000 rule, and it's pretty simple. You take the quote for the repair cost, and you multiply it by how old your AC unit is in years. If that final number is more than $5,000, the rule of thumb says it's probably time to start shopping for a new one. It's just a quick little formula to stop you from, say, sinking $1,000 into a 15-year-old system that's just going to break down again next year anyway. And here's the other side of that coin. Replacing your AC isn't just about avoiding more repair bills. As this chart shows, a brand new air conditioner today can be anywhere from 20 to 40% more energy efficient than a unit that's just a decade old. That means the big upfront cost of a new system starts paying you back immediately with some very real savings on your monthly electric bill. So when you zoom out, this whole story about a single air conditioner in Florida is really a fascinating case study. It's a lesson in how our technology survives, or doesn't, when it's pushed to the limit by a tough environment. And it turns out, survival isn't about finding some magical, indestructible machine. It's about having the right strategy.
So what's the game plan? What's the big takeaway here? Well, it boils down to this 3-step survival guide. First, get that regular maintenance on the calendar. It's not optional, it's essential. Second, when you do get a system, make sure it's the right size for your house. Too big or too small and you're setting it up to fail early. And third, be smart about it. Use tools like that $5,000 rule plan to plan for a replacement on your own terms, not in a panic during a brutal heat wave.
And that really leaves us with one final thought. We've just spent all this time looking at how salt, heat, and humidity wage war on one specific machine. But what about where you live? What are the invisible battles being fought in your own backyard? What unseen forces in your environment are quietly deciding the fate of the technology that you rely on every single day?